So, earlier this week, one of our community members over in the Brand and Hustle Hub posted about the fact that she had recently done the big chop, kind of shaved her hair all the way down to super short. And she hates it. She's been rocking with it for a few months and she just doesn't like it. So she wants to go back to longer hair, and then doing it with hair extensions or wigs or whatever, right? So she said, how is this going to affect my brand? Now, this is a good question. It's particularly a good question for people who like to change their hair frequently or for someone who's considering a drastic change to their hair. So let's get into this. So, you guys might remember a few months back, I shaved my head on Facebook Live. And I'm in a very similar position that was 4 months ago, and I have not grown accustomed to my short, curly, natural hair. It's more time consuming, it's more work. I'm spending money on product after product after product to try to get something that makes it manageable, and I've just decided that I'm going to go back and straighten my hair. So, what do you do when you have to do a flip flop? So, the first thing is we have to understand how people see our brand. If we make consistent changes or constant changes to our physical appearance, our brand appearance, it sends the message that your brand is inconsistent or indecisive. When people want to spend money with you, particularly high ticket money, they need to feel that the brand is consistent and trustworthy. Okay, so you have to be careful about making lots of physical appearances. In today's digital market, we produce lots of content, right? Lots of photos, lots of selfies, lots of videos and live streams, and people get accustomed to what they see. They start to build a relationship with you. They start to be really, really attached to who they believe you are and how they see you. And so research tells us that people need 7 consistent interactions with you to build trust. So meaning the first 7 times they encounter you, if you change your physical appearance or your brand or your messaging without any notice or any warning, you lost their loyalty to the brand. That's what the research tells us. Okay. So on the flip side, it also takes 21 interactions for them to clearly understand what you do as a brand. Okay, so 7 interactions, the first 7 are how you solidify the brand loyalty and the connection. That's the research. But there's also research that tells us it takes 21 touch points, 21 touches, okay, for people to understand what you do. So that's a lot of engagement, a lot of interaction, and a lot of touches to build a foundation, a relationship, to build trust, and to get them to know who you are. So then you can turn around and undo that with an unprecedented change. So if that's the case, and a lot of people said a few things, like one person was saying, well, your community, they know you, they trust you, they'll support you. And that's true. If you build a relationship with your community that you are supposed to, the kind of relationship that we strive for, if you've done a good job at it, they will roll with you. Okay. However, what you have to consider is not who's already a member of your community. You have to consider new people who are coming in touch with you for the first time and they were just referred to you. So you always look from the perspective of if this is someone's first or first few interactions with you, how do they perceive it? That's what you build a brand on. You build a brand on people coming in touch with you for the first time, right? And then people staying in touch with you long term. Those are the 2 factors that you look at. So if we think about it, if we only consider the current touches, the new touches, then we would never make a change to our brand. There is a way to make a change. Okay, there is a way to make a change. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but let's talk about how frequently you can make these changes without creating emotional upheaval. You can make the changes about every 6 months when it comes to something like hair, drastic changes to your appearance. About every 6 months, people kind of are comfortable. They've gotten to know you, they've gotten to see it, and then you're making a change. Here's how you make those changes so that it's not off-putting to people. You have to actually make an announcement. You have to have a dialogue. And so oftentimes I post things like, hey guys, I'm thinking about cutting my hair. When I decided to cut my hair on Facebook Live, I promoted it with a graphic and everything for about a week. I had a whole Facebook Live with several of my friends on, and we just kind of talked through what I was doing, why I did it, that kind of thing. I knew that I could not just show up online with my hair shaved without some sort of conversation with my audience. They're emotionally attached to my life journey. Okay. And that is the price you pay for being a public figure or a highly visible brand. That's what happens with personal brands. It's kind of like being a celebrity, right? You want all the benefits and none of the responsibility, but it doesn't work that way. We have to take the responsibility for the connection that we create with people. Okay, so you can make an announcement. You can even ask for their input. Hey guys, I'm thinking about doing this. Okay, do you have any suggestions? What do you think this should look like? Send me pictures of hairstyles you think would work for me. Those are the kinds of questions you have. Then it becomes a dialogue and they feel like they're part of the process. So it's really important to involve your community in the process. So let's recap what I've said here. If you make changes to your messaging or your visual brand within the first 7 interactions of dealing with someone, then you lose the brand loyalty. You run the risk of coming across as indecisive and unstable. Okay. Number 2, you can change your hair or make major changes to your visual person about once every 6 months. But when you do that, and even if you decide to do it more frequently, there needs to be some kind of dialogue or some sort of exchange with your community so that they feel that they're a part of it and they feel that this wasn't just me. I'm fly by night. I'm up. I just decided to make a change and here it is. They feel that you put some thought into it and that there was a process for it. It builds more stability and makes you more comfortable with going forward with your brand. That's it for me. Hope this was valuable to you guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side.